Hello students, in today's class I am going to share an interesting story from class 8, chapter 1 English, and the name of the chapter is How Did the Camel Got His Hump, written by Rudyard Kipling. So first I am going to explain the summary of the story, then let's look at the new words and question answers from this lesson. So let's start the story. In the beginning the world was new. Animals had begun to work for man. However, the camel refused to work. He lived in the middle of a howling desert. He refused to come near him. He said, "Hump," when anyone spoke to him. On Monday morning, the horse went to the camel. He asked him to trot as he did. "Hump," said the camel, and the horse went away and told the man about it. In the same way, dog came and went away because the camel replied in the same way. The ox asked the camel to plow. He was also sent back with a hump. The man called the horse, the dog and the ox. He asked them to work double time in order to make up the camel's work. This made all the three animals very angry. They came to the jinn and complained about the camel. They told the jinn that he did not work and said only hump. The jinn assured them that he would set the camel right. The jinn found the camel looking his reflection in water in the desert. The jinn asked him to work, but the camel said hump only. But as soon as he said this, he saw something strange. He saw his beautiful back was puffing up and turned to be very ugly. The jinn told the camel that it was his own hump, which he himself had brought upon him by not working. The jinn ordered him to work, but he refused him to work by saying that his hump was a big hurdle. The jinn told the camel about the purpose of the hump. The camel had not done work for 3 days. He would always be able to work for 3 days without eating. He could live on his hump. The jinn asked the camel to behave properly. Then the camel went away to join the three animals. From that day onwards, the camel always has a hump. But he had not caught up with his 3 days. He had missed them at the beginning of the world. So, friends, this is the story of how did the camel got his hump. It's an interesting story, right? I think all of you like this lesson. Now, let's look at the new words from this chapter and some question answers also. Now, let us see some new words in this chapter. The first word is trot. It means running on 2 legs. Example, the horse asked the camel to trot. The second word is jinn. It's called a spirit. The jinn was the master of all the deserts. Then the next word is fetch. That means to go and bring. Example, the dog was assigned the task of fetching and carrying things. The next word is plow. It means till. The ox was assigned the task of plowing the fields. And the next word, make up. That means compensate. The man asked the three animals to work double time to make up the camel's work. Short questions and answers in this chapter. First question, why did the camel live in the middle of the desert? Answer, as per the man in the story, the camel did not want to do a work. That is why it preferred to live in the middle of the desert. Next question. The camel said hump repeatedly. How did it affect him? Answer. Because of camel's indifference, everybody else was annoyed. The annoyance finally resulted in a curse for the camel. It was left with an ugly hump on its back and was left all alone in the desert. So, today's class we had learned about the story of how did the camel got his hump. I hope all of you understood this chapter very clearly. Let's meet again with another chapter in next video. Okay, bye bye friends.